Hello, and welcome back to Women for Wealth. So this episode, I am issuing a challenge. So the challenge that I'm issuing is a no-spend challenge. And yes, I'm doing that on purpose and being silly. So let's talk about what is a no-spend challenge. So we're going to talk about the challenge of no spend. So does that mean you can't spend anything? No, of course not, because you're going to have to spend money. You're still going to have bills that come in that have to be paid, etc. and so forth. We're going to do really a financial reset. So most people that jump into a no-spend challenge is because they want to reset their finances. They've been spending a little bit too much on non-essentials, or maybe there's a big goal that they want to meet, like, you want to take a vacation, or you need a down payment on a house. So you really just want to reset your finances, and a no-spend challenge is a great way to help you do that. So the whole point of a no-spend challenge is cutting out unnecessary expenses. So you just want to be mindful in your spending. You want to make sure what you're buying is a necessity. It's not a need. It's not, oh, I want this, I'd like to have this. No, it's a need. If it's not a need, don't buy it. Just do a no-spend. So there are a lot of benefits to doing a no-spend challenge. One of them is decluttering and minimalizing your lifestyle. So I've got another video that I'll have the editor link that talks about minimalism and decluttering and the benefits of decluttering, how it kind of clears your mind when you don't have a lot of stuff and you're able to think clearer. And to be quite honest, less stuff is less stuff to clean. So I'm a huge advocate of periodically going through and decluttering my house top to bottom. Again, the less stuff I have, the less stuff I have to clean. If I can put it in drawers or behind a door or a cabinet or in a closet, that's what I'm going to do. If I can't see it and it's not sitting out, then I don't have to dust it. So part of the no spend challenge is just don't buy it. If you don't need it, don't buy it. One of the things that we're thinking about right now, because it's end of August, is, and you see it everywhere, Halloween decor. Just don't decorate for anything. I'll be honest with you. I grew up in a house where every holiday, didn't matter how big it was or how small it was, my mom decorated the house for every single holiday. And Christmas, she went all out. My mom decorated every single room for Christmas, including the bathrooms. You heard me right. My mom even decorated the bathrooms for Christmas. Now, as an adult, I don't do that. I've actually had several Christmases where I didn't even put up a Christmas tree. If I knew I was going to be traveling and we were going to be at somebody's house, usually my parents or my in-laws for Christmas, I didn't waste time putting up a tree at my house because we weren't going to be there anyway. And yes, I know that might be an extreme statement to make, but you know what? It's all about living your life, doing what you enjoy and what makes you happy. I enjoyed those few Christmases where I didn't have to take the time to put it out. I didn't have to take the time to take it down. It was just one less thing on my to-do list that I had to worry about in the middle of a sea of endless tasks that I had to do and other things. So, that's something else to think about. Thomas and I might do that this year. So our middle son plays trumpet on Holland cruises. And so, my husband and I are thinking all the kids are going to be somewhere else for Christmas this year. My dad's going to be with my brother for Christmas this year. His mom's going to be with his brother and sister for Christmas this year. So it's just going to be me, Thomas, and our 4 dogs. And we're like, maybe we get somebody to dog sit and we go on a cruise and we just, Thomas and I, and we enjoy spending time with our middle son. When, we don't always get a lot of time to do that with our kids now that they're adults. Unfortunately, they're living their lives, we're living our lives, and, you just get busy. And I don't want to visit all the time because I don't want to infringe on their life and what they've got going on. And I also do not give them guilt trips about coming to visit me because I know they're busy. I know they've got other priorities. I know they've got things going on. And so the time that we do have with our kids is precious and valuable, and I try to maximize that time and make the most of it. Thomas and I have not seen our middle son perform professionally. We have seen him perform, but not professionally. So we're really excited about the opportunity to go on a cruise. It's in the Caribbean during Christmas. We can see our son play trumpet professionally. Really excited about it. So guess what? I'm not going to be decorating this year. If I'm going to be on a cruise, I'm not going to waste my time putting up a Christmas tree. Forget it. Not going to do it. So, as you do this no spend challenge with me, which I hope you do, I hope you accept the challenge and you do this, think about decluttering and minimalism. Declutter your life. Focus on what adds value to your life. If something doesn't add value, don't do it. It's simple and easy. Because I am a power engineer and one of the companies I own is Select Renewable Systems, I of course have to think about the environmental impact. If you're spending less, then you are impacting the environment less. You're not buying things that you don't need. Those items don't have to be shipped and transported, which is transportation cost and fuel. Some of the things to think about when you buy something on Amazon or Temu, because Temu's really big right now, think about how many gallons of diesel is burned for you to get that item to your house. It's a lot, especially if you're buying from Temu. It has to come overseas from China and then get on a transport truck and then get on a delivery truck before it comes to your house. So if you're buying less, you're consuming less, you're creating less waste, and you're just being intentional about your impact on the environment. So that's another positive about the no spend challenge. All right, so let's talk about it. How do you actually do a no spend challenge? Here's some things to help you get started. So number one, you're going to set a list of rules for yourself. And I'm not going to tell you what rules to follow. You need to develop your own rules for your lifestyle, what your goals are, and you need to decide for yourself what you value and what you're going to spend money on and what is off limits. If you are in a position that you're like, I've got a big goal, I want to save a lot of money to get there, and you're going to go cold turkey on everything except bills and groceries, then that's great. If that's where you're at in your life, I think that's wonderful. Others might want a few small indulgences. You got to be clear on your boundaries. What are your goals? What are your values? What are your rules for your no spend challenge? The next thing you want to do, once you set your rules on what you're going to spend and what you're not going to spend, and what you're allowing yourself to buy and what you're not going to allow yourself to buy, pick a time frame. How long do you want to stick to this? Is it a day? Is it a week? Is it a month? Do you want to say, I'm going to be ambitious? As they say, if you're feeling froggy, jump. Maybe you want to say, I'm going to do a no spend challenge from here through the rest of the year. I'm going to spend money on healthy food. I'm going to spend money on bills. I've got money set aside for Christmas presents. And outside of that, I'm just not going to buy anything. That's great. Again, it's up to you. So now that you've set your rules and you picked a time frame, you need to identify your weak spots. Think about where you usually overspend. Is it online shopping? Is it eating out? Is it impulse buys? Know your weak spots and stay vigilant during the challenge. One of the things that I did during the no spend challenge is I deleted the app for Amazon and Temu off of my phone. I was notorious. If I saw something or I thought of something that I wanted to buy, it was right there. The app was right there on my phone. I picked it. I bought it. It was done. I didn't think about it. The convenience of having the app on my phone made it too easy for me to make purchases that sometimes weren't needs, sometimes they were wants. And so I just deleted the apps off my phone for a period of time, and I saved quite a bit of money. Finally, plan for success. If you're not spending money on dining out or ordering takeout or delivery, make sure that you have your groceries sorted. Are you doing meal planning? Do you have a grocery list? And I will say, don't go grocery shopping when you're hungry, and don't go grocery shopping without a list. And stick to your list. It really does save money. And it helps you to make healthier choices, in my experience. Plan and prepare ahead. Make sure you've got plans in place on, okay, I'm not going to eat out. I'm not going to go to restaurants. I'm not going to order takeout. I'm not going to have delivery. I'm going to cook healthy. So what are you going to cook? Do your meal planning in advance. So what should you and should you not purchase during a no spend challenge? Again, what you buy and what you spend on is your personal choice. You have to decide for you and your life and what's convenient for you, what you can stick with, because ultimately we want you to be motivated, we want you to be successful, and we want you to achieve whatever that goal is. Maybe you're like me and you're like, hey, I want to go on a cruise in December. Well then, plan for that now. Start saving that money and setting it aside now. You might be surprised. Cutting out going to restaurants and food delivery and to go might be enough that you can save up enough money to go on a cruise. Essential bills, you still have to pay those. You're going to need to pay your rent, your utilities, your insurance. Any necessary bills are non-negotiable. You've got to pay those. Keep those in your budget. Stick to your plan on how you pay those. Automate them if you can. And don't stress about paying your bills. Pay those. Those are essential. Groceries. You have to eat. So you have to decide, if I'm not going to go to a restaurant, I'm not going to go delivery, I'm not going to do takeout, how am I going to feed myself? How am I going to fuel my body in a healthy way? Maybe you decide you're going to go to the grocery store once a week, do meal planning, have your shopping list, and then you're going to cook at home, which is what we do. And we didn't always do that. I'll be honest with you. There were times that our local food delivery was Kershaw to go. If I was tired and I didn't want to cook, it was all too easy to pick up the phone and open the app and order something for Kershaw to go, and it was delivered on my front porch. Love the convenience. It was really good food, but boy, was it expensive. It was ridiculously expensive. And by the way, it wasn't the healthiest food. Typically when I ordered, it was things that I wouldn't normally eat. It was, oh my gosh. One time, just for an example, I got steak, loaded baked potato. There was Texas toast with it. And then I ordered a cheesecake for dessert. Now that is way outside of what I normally eat. It was very good. I enjoyed it, but that's not sustainable for, doing that once a week. Way too expensive, way too many calories, way too much fat. Cut those type of things out. Anything like that that's unnecessary, anything that's not benefiting you, then just don't spend the money. You're going to have things that you're going to have to do during your no spend challenge, such as medical needs. We've talked about this before. Whenever you're trying to better yourself, Murphy's Law ends up living in my spare bedroom. And it just happens. I don't know why, but I put a plan in place. I'm going to do something to improve myself, and Murphy's Law is like, oh no, I'm going to throw you a curveball, make it difficult. And that's typically what happens in my life. I think it's pretty humanistic that Murphy's Law happens. So when you give yourself a no spend challenge, be aware that that's the time that something's going to pop up unexpected. You're going to blow a car tire. You're going to have a health related issue where you got to go to the doctor and get some prescriptions. Something will happen. So be prepared for the unexpected. Don't give up. If you are following your challenge and you're following your plan, and then one of these Murphy's Law events takes place, say, well, you know what? That's what my emergency savings is for. I'm not going to give up. I'm going to get back on my plan, and I'm going to stick to it. So a couple things that are easy, in my opinion, might not be easy for you, but easy in my opinion, for me to cut out during a no spend challenge. Clothing. I work from home. Most of the time I'm in t-shirts. This is my Campbell Mom t-shirt from when my youngest son graduated from Campbell University. I work from home, so I don't have an occasion to get dressed up and fancy anymore like I used to. I used to wear business clothes every day and drive to an office when I was a working professional for someone else. But now that I work from home and I work for myself, I'm not buying new shoes that often. I'm not buying new shirts and new pants or whatever. I had a client meeting in Atlanta not too long ago. I had to go shopping and I had to buy an outfit to wear to my client meeting because my closet has devolved over the past, over 7 years now. I was working from home pre-COVID, so I've been working from home for over 7 years now. I just didn't have the wardrobe anymore, and so I actually had to go buy an outfit to go to a client meeting. So that's something that if you don't need it, don't buy it. Avoid buying new clothes. And this can tie into the environmental aspect too, because a lot of people don't realize most of the clothes that you donate are not able to be resold. They're packed up and shipped to countries like India that burn them in burn pits, which is very, very bad for the health of the people that do it, as well as the overall environment. So fast fashion, I think, is the term they use. I think it's a bad thing. Just avoid it. Save your money. Buy a few high quality items that you can keep for years and years and years and years, and you can wear multiple times, and you can get the value and the benefit out of them. So during this no spend challenge, one of the things that I'm going to do is I'm not going to buy any new clothes. I'm just not. No new clothes, no new shoes. We're not going to dine out. I think we talked about that. There's not going to be, we have a place that's not too far from here, 5 minutes down the road. And if I wanted something, and my husband does it too. He's sitting there, he's kind of sluggish in the morning, out of coffee in the kitchen. Hey, I'm going to run over there and I'm going to pick up a coffee, which is convenient. But if it's not here, instead of just running and getting it, just go without. And I understand if you're addicted to coffee. I'm not. I'm a weirdo, and I admit it. I hate coffee. I hate the smell of coffee. I actually do not enjoy when Thomas drinks coffee and we have a shared office. I hate the smell of it. So he has actually reduced his coffee consumption drastically, which I appreciate and I'm grateful for. Plus, not drinking as much coffee, not having as much caffeine, is probably a positive thing for his blood pressure. All right, what else am I personally cutting out during my no spend challenge? Entertainment and hobbies. So I like to buy books. I know I'm old school. You see me, my notes. I've got my notes here in front of me. I like having things on paper. I like having a pen, or this is a highlighter so I can mark things off and write with it. I enjoy that. I still buy books. I'm not going to buy any new books during my no spend challenge. I've got enough. I can reread a book that I've already read. It's been a couple years, I'm sure, for some of them. I probably have forgotten most of it, so it'd be beneficial to reread something. Books now, a lot of times, you can find the information for free, or you can get like a Cliff's Notes version, even using ChatGPT. I've actually done that. There was a book that I was interested in reading. It was really long. I was busy, and I was like, there's probably 3 to 5 quick takeaways out of this book that I can get. And so I went to ChatGPT, give me the Cliff Notes and put the title of the book and the author's name. And it gave me the summary of the book for free. I didn't have to buy it. So that's something else that you can do. So look for free alternatives. Get creative. And then also for entertainment and hobbies, get creative with what you already have. If you already have movies and books that you've bought in the past, reread them, rewatch them. If you're like me and it's been any amount of time, I forget a lot of it. So there's benefit to go back and re-enjoy it for me. So in closing, let me just say that I hope you join me on a no spend challenge. Again, we've gone through how to do it, what I'm going to be doing. Keep in mind that you just have to be intentional, mindful, and a little bit disciplined. You have to discipline yourself. You have to tell yourself no when those convenient, easy things come up. If you've never done a no spend challenge, great. Now's the time to start it. Now's the time to try it out. See how it works for you. If you've done it before and Murphy's Law set in and you gave up, well then try it again. And this time, know that Murphy's Law is probably going to happen. And when it does, don't give up, don't stop, just keep moving forward, keep going. I really appreciate your time today. I hope you join me in the No Spend Challenge. Let me know below. Are you going to do it? If you are, what's it going to look like? What are your rules going to be? What are you going to give up? And more importantly, what are your goals? Are you striving to save money to go on a cruise? Are you striving to save money for something else? A down payment for the house example. Let me know. Let me know what your goals are and what you're doing to reach them. I'd love to hear from you. Thank you so much.